Have you ever wondered why, when we are children, we want to grow up so bad, and when we finally do, we miss those childhood years? For such a long time, I was suppressing my childishness and trying to look and present myself as mature and serious, but I ended up feeling empty and sad. So for the past few years, I've been surrendering to my deepest desires, opening up to what makes my heart sing and dance, allowing wonder, curiosity, and this subtle humbleness to flow through my life. And my mission has become to feel deeply, to let go of shame, to love, and to invite back the child that's hiding. Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here and welcome to the second of the two-part series called Inner Child. This part, unlike the first one, is going to be more practical. I'm going to share with you certain things that I've been doing that make me feel really good and that are hopefully going to help you activate, invite back, channel your inner child. So let's get into it. So the first thing you can do to connect with your inner child is revisit childhood interests. Remember what you like to do as a child. This can be writing short stories or poems, or maybe acting or doing sports or drawing. Maybe it's reading, and maybe it's even reading those childhood novels such as The Little Prince or Alice in Wonderland. Don't underestimate these because they can really inspire you no matter the age, so it might be worth it to go back to them. Another thing might be music, and I've said this in a video before. Please don't be bothered by whether you sound good or not. I only know 3 chords on the guitar poorly and it doesn't stop me from enjoying it. And now I'm gonna let you hear some of it just to prove that it really doesn't have to sound good or perfect. The only thing that matters is you're having a good time. See what I mean? And you don't even have to learn chords, you can just play around with it. I came up with this little melody and I've just been harassing everyone around me with it for days. And just wait till you see my face in the end, how happy I am to get it right. Maybe you were into crafts as a kid, so don't be afraid to get on the floor and just use whatever you have on hand. I used to do this all the time when I was little. I would just use whatever I had in the house and make this huge mess, but nothing mattered. The only thing that mattered was this flow state that I was in. I wasn't too concerned about the result, and it is kind of a meditation in itself. And personally, I spend a huge portion of my life actually believing that I'm not creative, and I would just stare into a blank paper and think, I just don't have any ideas, I just don't have it in me. And it's ridiculous, and it's actually sad for anyone to feel this way because it's definitely not true. So here I'd like to mention this study on creativity that was done in 1968 and actually designed for the purposes of selecting innovative scientists for NASA, but it was very successful, so they tried it on children. And what they actually discovered was that 98% of children display creativity at a genius level. And another thing they found is that with age, these levels drop significantly, and especially after school age. So this is really something to think about, because it seems that we come to this planet with a lot of creativity. So where does it all go and why? And never forget that Picasso said, "It took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child." But if you're really just having a rough time and feeling uninspired, I'm going to post the link to a video where I describe the drawing exercise you can do and really enjoy yourself. And creative expression absolutely does not have to mean that you're drawing or painting or writing or making music. Literally anything you can do, especially if it involves using your hands, it can get you in that state of flow which came to us so easily when we were children. And if you can do this with your friend or partner or a sibling maybe, where you're each doing your own thing but still sharing space and this flowy energy, it's a real blessing. And another really important thing when it comes to inner child activation is reclaiming your body, reconnecting with it, and seeing and feeling out what it's capable of, because often our bodies just become slaves to our routines and to our minds. And maybe you would benefit from trying out a sport. And here I also want to emphasize that it is not important if you are good at it or not. The important thing is that you have fun, and I'm sure your inner child will come out at some point and you will have a lot of good laughs at least. And naturally, this leads us to playing something that a lot of us have cut off from our lives, which is such a shame, because playing board games, playing card games, or those old traditional childhood games we used to enjoy so much, it has its purpose in our lives. And maybe it's playing those simplest games like catch or hide and seek. It can help unleash so much stuck energy from us, and it can have you laughing and jumping and behaving in ways you never thought were possible. I'm telling you, you will surprise yourself. Just try it. Here we played this really silly painting game where each person needs to say an adjective and a noun, and then we combine them into one, and then we have to draw this thing. And we had a captured fig, I think, for this one, and each of us needed to draw a half of the thing. So this is the result. It's really ridiculous. But it was so much fun. And if you have access to any type of a trampoline, I would highly recommend it, because it feels so good and different to experience movement in a way that you're not used to, and to feel like you are defying gravity. Just don't take yourself too seriously, and don't be afraid to embarrass yourself. Here, my sister and I needed to do this as a challenge because we lost the game that night, and it was so liberating not to care. It is such a shame to miss out on all the fun just because you're concerned what other people are thinking, when those same people are too concerned with themselves, trust me. Another thing is facing your fears. I see all of these children doing these crazy things, and I look at myself and I'm so scared. And so lately I've been really working on my fears, and what I discovered is that every time I do something that I was dead scared of, it turns out to not even be that bad. And the next time I do it, it's just super, super fun. You can have truly great experiences in life if you allow trust. Another thing that I've found very powerful in this process is connecting with nature in any way. Walking, talking to the trees, just listening to the sounds of nature. It feels like literally coming home and to this huge, vast playground that is here just for me to run around and play in. It unleashes this childishness, this playfulness, and it is so amazing. Even if you're just lying down in the warm grass, it is super, super good for your nervous system, and it reminds you where you came from and what your roots are. Also, exploring different places, especially those abandoned places, which I know would have been heaven for me and my friends when I was a kid to play in and explore. But just in general, exploring different places in nature is very much fun. Something else you can also try is drawing your attention to the little things, to those little details that often go unnoticed but are so interesting and beautiful, like this little ant doing his own thing, or just watching the waves race to the shore, or noticing those weird plants or bugs, or watching the sunshine dance on furniture. Sharpening your senses can really make a difference in how you experience your daily life, wherever you are, be it outside or inside, even in your own room. You can really experience beautiful things. So I'm going to finish the video here, but before I do, I just wanted to mention a few things that you can do wherever you are. You can do it alone in your room without any additional equipment. Just some internal things and practices and habits you can incorporate in your everyday life to reconnect and heal your inner child. And the first one definitely is just talking to this little person inside of you, especially if you feel certain things and memories and feelings coming up. Just comfort that little child, give it compassion, validation, whatever it needs. Don't be afraid to literally speak to yourself, maybe even out loud or internally, and say everything is okay, I'm here now, I'm taking care of you, you're safe, the danger is gone. It's really comforting, and I really believe it helps heal your inner child, and it's such a simple practice that doesn't take a lot of effort or time or anything else. And I think it's much easier to do this when you are relatively calm and just feeling okay, because in situations when we are in this triggered state, it's very difficult to kind of step back and look at the situation for what it is, because we are so deep into it. But then slowly, gradually, with time, you will develop this awareness of things that do trigger you, and you will be able to kind of look at yourself and maybe not leave this state of triggeredness, but you will at least be able to see, okay, this is just temporary, this is just now I'm triggered, but later I will not be triggered anymore, and this situation won't look as bad as it does now. And it's kind of nice to have this distance between you and your emotions, even in this state of like high stress and high anxiety or frustration. And another thing is just noticing when you're saying nasty and mean things to yourself. If you catch yourself saying, I'm stupid, I am ugly, I'm worthless, why did I do this? Why did I say this? This was so cringy, this was so weird. if you catch yourself saying these things, just kind of stop and think about it. Like, don't just let it, flow without any awareness. Kind of try to become aware of these things. And the point is not to like suppress it or to deny it in your mind even though you feel differently. The point is not to invalidate your feelings. The point is to really feel your feelings and your thoughts and be aware of them. And then with time they will go away. And whenever you can, whenever you're feeling able to do this, try turning these things into words of love. Try to say, I'm not ugly, I'm beautiful, I'm not stupid, I'm very intelligent, I'm an intelligent creature just like any other creature on this planet. Just try. If it works, if it doesn't work, let it go for now, and maybe in the next situation you'll be able to do this. And whenever these invalidating thoughts come up, think about, would you ever say these words to someone else? To a child, for example? Or would you ever tolerate another person saying these things to you? Because we often say things to ourselves that if someone else told us these things, we'd go crazy or angry, or we just wouldn't want to have anything to do with this person anymore. So think about it. And what I've learned lately about the subconscious mind is that it really likes repetition. So whatever you are repeating to yourself day by day, it is kind of being etched into the subconscious mind. And when you talk to it, it really listens, you really are heard, and you will get what you want, you will get what you are kind of perpetuating. If you ask your subconscious mind to show you certain things, it will, whether through dreams or through meditation or something else, but it will show you what you are searching for. And if you are working on processing your trauma and certain things and feelings and memories come up and then you feel terrible and you cry a lot or whatever, just don't forget to dedicate some time and space to this traumatized part of you so that you can enable healing. Don't forget to do something for that part, whether it is just simple words of love or hugging yourself and hugging that part of you as well, or it's maybe through some ritual. Just find whatever works for you, but make sure to give attention and time to that part of you to show that it is seen and heard and validated, and then it will be able to heal more easily. So that is more or less it. Please, if you have any tips or practices or advice you have to channel your inner child, please share it down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a great week, and I will see you soon. And I just remember that I wanted to share this book that I have here. It is by Osho, the Book of Children, and I knew that I couldn't go one video without mentioning him, but it is a really good book, especially if you are a parent, even though we all kind of are parents to our inner children, so we could all benefit from this. It talks about parenting and childhood in general in a really different perspective than what we are used to, and it is a really good book. I'm going to link it down below. Bye!